Man United 2, Crystal Palace 0. We managed to get there in the end, guys. I tell you what, that was very, very uncomfortable, very nervy. And we was poor for large parts. Solskjaer rang in a couple of changes with McTominay and Fosu-Mensah coming into the side. And you know what? I'm going to start. It's such an action-packed game for a lot of wrong reasons. But before we get to all the praise and stuff, I'm going to start with Fosu-Mensah. Big surprise. And I wanted to see how that would affect Rashford. You know what Luke Shaw's like. For all the stick that he does get, I think he does go forward a lot. Brandon Williams is the same, aggressive, always wants to go forward. Fosu-Mensah is not that. And to see him coming over Dalot shows just where Ollie probably rates Dalot at the moment. I mean, Fosu-Mensah really hasn't played any football in a long time. Neither has Dalot, but Dalot's played more recently than him. And Dalot's a fullback. And I was quite surprised. And I thought he looked after himself, Fosu-Mensah. I thought he did a job that resembled a player who'd been out for ages. I don't think we could expect more than a 5 or a 6 from him. And that's what he gave us. He was never going to overlap Rashford. He was never going to be a marauding fullback, getting forward, whipping in crosses into the box. I think he played it very safe. Just wanted to just keep the ball. A couple of misplaced passes, yes. But you can expect that from him. But what my point is how was that going to affect Rashford's game with not having that link up, not having somebody to link up with, because he has been doing that quite well with Shaw recently? And the answer is not a lot, because I thought Rashford was absolutely brilliant today. And look, today was another game. The most concerning thing about today, on the negative side, was the fact that we were so slow to start. Up until we scored, I just thought we were so bad. I thought we were lethargic. We were slow on the ball. We were just moving it way too slow. And that, I'm worried about that. I'm worried about the slow starts. We always say if you play against better teams in this type of performance, you'll get punished. If we play like that against Chelsea in the first half, you could be 1 or 2 goals down. It's a different proposition. Bruno, I didn't think was at it. Pogba, I didn't think was at it. I don't think McTominay had his best game. We just didn't have control over the game. And when Palace were pressing us, we just didn't have an answer. Zaha started brightly. Ayew started brightly. They were pulling us from pillar to post. Wan-Bissaka didn't start very well. And we just didn't look comfortable. David De Gea, big up David De Gea today. I thought he played really well. He was called into action very early on. And the warning signs were there. I don't know about you guys, but I was fuming in that first, right up to the drinks breaks. And even after that, we just weren't at it. Greenwood couldn't get into the game. Van Aanholt, again, very similar to Bertrand. He's going to just keep going and keep attacking. And that forced Greenwood back. Struggled to get him in the game last couple of games now. But having said that, this was all about the 3 points. Win by any means necessary. The pressure was on. How is this team going to stand up to the pressure? Chelsea had beaten Norwich and extended their gap to 4 points. Leicester had extended theirs to 3 points today by beating Sheffield United very comfortably. The pressure was on, and it was a win by all means. And we did manage to win. And the reason why we won the game is because in the real quality moments, we shone through. Martial, Rashford, Bruno, the link up between those three is almost telepathic at times. It really is great to see. Martial is just, some of the fans in the fan cams have been saying he's just a complete number 9. And I think it's taken a while for us to see this, but we're really seeing him come into his own. He's in the form of his life. I think he's playing brilliantly. Another well-taken goal. Everything he seems to do right now, even off the ball, is just second to none. The way he looks after the ball, the way he holds it up, the way he feeds people, his release of the pass, of when to release it, his weight of pass. He's just so sharp. His willingness to be in the 6-yard box as well. Just within the penalty area instead of drifting all the time. He just looks so confident, and he's got the complete package. Marcus Rashford, I thought, was at it, especially for that second goal. He beats a player near the halfway line, near the touch line, skips inside, feeds Bruno. Bruno gets it back to him through the legs, and then he lays in Martial with a lovely cushion pass, and Martial does the business. And even for Rashford's goal, the composure to sit Van Aanholt down, and I think could have been Ward, just to sit them both down and to just put it into the corner. Just great composure, and he's coming into his own. And he started after lockdown not poorly, but he just wasn't there. He wasn't at it, and we just kept patient with it, kept taking our time with him, keep playing him. He's going to come good. He's contributing off the ball. He's contributing assist-wise, getting his goals, couple of goals chalked off for offside. He's doing the business. You can't say fairer than that. And it's great to see. That's the reason we won the game. As well as, though, you know me, I'm a realist. I'll say it as it is. Fortunate with the Lindelof situation with the penalty. I think it could have been given on another day. If they would have encouraged the referee to go and look at that, He may have given it, he may not have. It was one of them dodgy ones where if it's given against you, you're thinking, sorry, if it's not given for you, if your player gets fouled there, you've got something to say about it. So I accept that. Yes, according to the letter of how VAR is being applied, Andre was offside, but we all know what a farce that ruling is. You know, I just want it to be fair. I want all teams to benefit from the correct decisions being given and not ruining the game. And to be fair, on the consistency of the whole season, those have been given as offside, so that has been consistent. But I don't agree with that. I'm happy that my team benefited from it. I'm happy that it wasn't a goal because obviously we would have been pegged back to 1-1 and the warning signs were on. But for that to be given offside is a spot of luck and a wake-up call. Matic came on. I think he changed the game. I think it just shows. I was worried. I said before the game, Scott McTominay's starting. I'm not going to go off the rails. I can understand why Solskjaer's doing it. We've got 3 games in 6 days, big games. Matic is the other side of 30 now. And, for him to play 90 minutes in every single game is going to be a big push. But I did question, I said it'll be interesting to see if our rhythm and tempo was affected by McTominay being in there. And I think it's harsh to say that we had no control in midfield because of him, because I think Pogba started the game quite poorly. But I just think because the dynamic changed in midfield, that didn't help us, because Bruno wasn't at it. A lot of misplaced passes early on. But you always know, Bruno, he's going to have goal involvement. He'll keep trying things. And if he tries 10 and 4 come off, out of those 4, we'll get 2 or 3 goals out of him. And that's what you want from Bruno. And he's done it once again. But I think it's harsh to say that it didn't work today because of McTominay. However, when Matic did come on, apart from the first little 5 minutes he had where he was a little bit shaky, there's a moment where he had about 10, 15 seconds on the ball and wanted 25 seconds and got nabbed. And luckily we got out of it. But I think you can see the calming influence he brings. He's the best man for the job in that position. We know that. Mason Greenwood, again, difficult day for him, difficult evening for him because, again, Van Aanholt, very similar to Bertrand. I think those types of fullbacks that force Mason back, he's still going to have to learn or work out a way to adapt to still be in the game. And he had some good moments. Martial laid him in on a different day. Mason finds the far corner and curls it in. There was another pass that he had to lay through to Rashford and he overhit it on the counter-attack. So wasn't quite his blister himself. But hey, guess what? Mason's a young prodigy, man. He's going to do that. He's going to be in and out of form. We can't just rely on him all the time. A big difference today is that our better players not coming off early as well. You saw in the Southampton game when we tried to hold on, took off Bruno, took off Pogba. The fact that they stayed on, you see late on that Bruno was involved, Pogba involved. They grow into the game. So is it a worry that we're starting games slowly? Yes. I don't know if the confidence is an issue. However, we've won the game. And to be honest, I don't really care about the performances right now. It'll be nice if we were still doing the 3-0s, the 5-2s, sweeping teams aside. But at the end of the day, it's all about the results. And we've managed to keep a clean sheet today. Shout out De Gea. I want to give a big shout out to him. A lot of the saves he made today were routine. But there's some of the saves that, can go wrong when he's in bad form and making silly mistakes. I think probably the last one was his best save when Zaha was clean through after a mix-up at the back. That was just before, I think, the 11 minutes extra time, stoppage time was going to kick in. And if that would have been 2-1 at that time, we would have had, 8 to 10 minutes of, maybe an uncomfortable situation with Crystal Palace haven't gotten themselves back into it. So I'm pleased that it kept a clean sheet. I thought Lindelof was good. Someone said to me Lindelof was awful in the first half, but got better. You could argue that he had a couple of shaky moments, especially with the penalty incidents. But I think by and large, he was really good today. I thought he was good on the ball. I thought he was commanding. I worried about AU and Zaha running at him, but he did okay. You can't always stop Zaha. He's a tricky character. You know how good he is. You can't always stop him. He's always going to get at you. And I thought Lindelof did very well. I thought Harry Maguire did well in parts as well. I thought he was strong today. Wan-Bissaka grew into the game, didn't start off very well, but did well to be on a yellow card from so early, but keep himself going and keep himself on the right side of that. Attacking-wise, wasn't the best, but again, he grew into the game. Greenwood come off a bit early, though. He come off a bit early for Lingard. I didn't really see that. I was a bit like, don't really know why that change happened, and Lingard kind of went to sleep first off, and they were in down our right-hand side, but again, as the second goal went in, I think Lingard grew into the game and just looked after the ball well and just kept it. So all in all, listen, all about the 3 points. It was nerve-wracking. It was nail-biting. It was ugly at times. It was a poor performance at times. But in other times, it just shows you how important it is to have our front three firing and in form. You know, when Greenwood was tearing up trees, Rashford wasn't quite at it. Now Rashford's quite, he's at it. Greenwood's not so much there. But big up Martial, he's the one constant. His performance levels are just staying at this level. He really is that good right now. And we managed to get the job done. One thing I do like about what we're doing now is no matter how badly we're playing, we just got goals in us. And that, I think, is the biggest difference. You're not always going to blitz teams 3-0, 2-0, 4-0, whatever you want to call it, and keep clean sheets and score loads of goals. You're just not. You're not always even going to play well. But if you're not going to play well, are you going to be able to produce moments? Are you going to be able to shake it off and produce sustained attacks? And we're doing that. We're creating chances. We could have scored more today, so could Crystal Palace, to be fair. But I think we created the better chances, and that's why we won the game, essentially, with a little bit of luck along the way. Who said you're not going to need luck at this stage of the season? And we roll on Chelsea, man. I mean, look, that game, I don't know. It's a weird one. I mean, 4 times to beat Lampard in one season would be something special. Something just might creep in terms of surely not a 4th. But listen, we're confident. We've got goals in us. I can see Oli making a few changes, and I can understand why. I wanted to see the strongest team play here tonight. We had to see the strongest team play here tonight. That was the most important thing. We've got to get top 4 shored up, and we have to beat West Ham. And them games are coming quickly. So if he does bring a Dan James in, if he does bring a Fred in, I don't want to see people going mad and saying, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Solskjaer's got to find a balance, and I think it's difficult. We've got 2 fullbacks that are not fit. Hopefully Brandon Williams can play. If not, I don't want to see Fosu-Mensah there. Well, actually, he did all right. If he has to play, he has to play. But that will be an even tougher task for him than Townsend if he goes up against William. But hey, we will see. Roll on the FA Cup semi-final. I want to see us win it, obviously. I want to see us go for it. If Oli can get a league cup, a cup in his first season as full-time manager and get into top 4, it'll be a fantastic season. And that's all we want. We want to finish the season well and strongly and hopefully go into that Leicester game not having to beat them, but we'll see how results go. My man of the match was Rashford. I thought he was brilliant all game. Don't know how BT gave it to Bruno. I love Bruno, but come on, let's not be biased. Martial could have got it for another goal. Another good performance from him, but I just think Rashford, goal and assist, I think he was superb. Smash a like on the video. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. Check out my YouTube channel, The Flex, and check out my social media at FlexUTD across all social platforms. I will see you guys at the player ratings. I'm over to go and get the guys now. It's gone past 12 o'clock at night. I'm getting tired. Let's go do the player ratings. Peace.